there. And Danny has his own BMX channel where he reviews magazines from the 80s. And that's what we kind of do. That's our thing. And so Danny is going to bust out one of his magazines. We're going to go through it. We're going to reminisce, talk about what's in the magazine, the ads, and what we think about what's stuff on. And for those of you that are curious about Danny's channel, I will be leaving a link to his channel in the description of this video when we're done. I suggest that everybody goes and checks him out. We have a friendly competition of who gets more subscribers. But we're getting more subscribers. Anyways, what year do we have today, Danny? What month? What? Go ahead.
Something really quick though, because you said, dude, you need to name your channel. And so now it's Danny Pena BMX Racing. I made it real basic, but it used to be like my name and then 2673 name. And I go, okay, Kevin's right. I need I would eventually like to get some of those like stickers made or some t-shirts made that have my YouTube handle on it, so I can put it on my car or wear the t-shirt or something. And I go, I got to come up with something people are going to remember, So anyway, that was all I can come up with at the time. So
there's another Danny Pena that has a channel, and coincidentally enough, when I want to find your channel, that's exactly what I search. I put Danny Pena BMX, not racing, but I just put BMX. But there is another Danny Pena, not BMX related though, but there is another channel out there.
I think
anyways,
is he a soccer player or something? I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. So what year, what month, what are we doing today? What you got for us, bro?
Okay, so this one's lacking a cover, so I apologize. But we're going to go to October 1984. BMX Action. BMX Action is probably my favorite. And the cover on the cover though, it had Mike Buff on it. So it was obviously with freestyle cover. And in this magazine, they're going to go over the Murray World Cup, which is big time money, the Murray World Cup. Because I know when I was talking to Terry, it wasn't this year, 1984. He wasn't pro yet, but he told me he picked up like 30 grand racing that race. So it's like some serious cash on the line at the Murray World Cup. Something, unfortunately, we just don't see, in today's sport, and we'll talk about this one later. This is just a recent issue of Cool Magazine. Okay, let me crack it open. All right, so right away, man, let's talk about this really quick. Haro was really becoming really big, 84, 85, and they started releasing their freestyle line of bicycles. So this is Bob Haro's thing, and I know that Torker, he partnered up with Torker, and they were starting the whole thing with the Haro freestyle bikes. He had like the first actual freestyle bike. I personally have never ridden a freestyle bike. I've been around them. I know they're heavy. I know they don't feel like a race bike, so it's never really been my thing. How do you feel about the freestyle bike? Did you ever play around with those at all?
No, but I did a lot of freestyle on my race bike though. I never rode at least not as a child or a young adult. I've ridden a freestyle bike as a full-blown adult now, but I never really well, is that true? I think we kind of like, I think I had a PK Ripper and I got some standing gear forks and some front brakes and that type of thing, but that's about it. I never had like a multi-top bar, multi-top tube frame, or no frame standards and other stuff.
Yeah, you're a bike collector. I know that about you. I've watched enough of your channel to know that you're an expert at finding and buying and selling and trading.
Trying, yeah.
So, is there a lot of value in the freestyle bikes versus the race bikes, or do you feel the race bikes carry more value? Where do you think that?
It's a totally different world, dude. It's the guys that race don't freestyle, and the guys that freestyle don't race, and it's a totally different group of people. The freestyle guys are just as crazy and just as eager to spend money as the race guys. And it all depends about the bike, the frame, and the hot one is obviously the pro performers from the 80s. That type of thing. But do you know why? I think I know the reason why Bob Haro stopped working with Torker and went to his own. Do you know why he stopped using Torker as a frame?
I think they went out of business. Is that what?
I think that is because he started, because Torker is related to Max Leathers, and when Bob started making his own leathers, they got pissed off at him.
Um,
So
that,
they cut him off, and there was a big problem, and then he went on and started his own frame company. But
what?
anyways, I think that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
What?
gonna
So
go
what do
with
you
that too.
do? You like freestyle bikes? I mean, I
Personally,
can appreciate them. I mean, do you like them?
I'm in the same boat as you are. I look at them and I go, oh, those are really cool. You know, I know that a lot of Mongoose just dropped a retro freestyle bike, and there's a guy I watch on YouTube. I forgot his channel, man. I'm really sorry, but it's he looks at all the old '80s retro stuff, and he just brought out a purple and white one, and he had a bunch of flatline guys playing around with it in his recent video. I think that's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
because I'm a racer, for me, I wouldn't. I'm not in the market for freestyle bikes. Even if I was to get a big 29 incher, it'd probably be more race related than a freestyle related bike. I just never was my thing, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I had one of my good scores. I scored a performer really cheap from my buddy in the Marine Corps. And
Yeah,
if you're, anybody that wants to watch that video, it's on my channel. Um, it's one of my scores. It's a Malibu blue performer. I think it's an 86. You could go in my channel, check it out, and you'll hear the story about how I almost got screwed out of that bike. But yeah, do freestyle. It's a totally different animal. Those guys are crazy. What I
yeah.
don't like is when they over restore the bikes, man. Like I don't know.
Okay.
Have you ever seen this guy Duro the Bird or Duro the Herd or something on Instagram? Have you seen this guy?
No, I
Like
have not.
crazy, like shiny, like re-chromes everything to like it's like man, nobody ever rode these bikes like this back in the day. So that's my only concern with some of the freestyle guys out there where they over restore their bikes and it's just not it was never like that before.
I see. I almost feel like there might be more value in the race bikes only because there's just racing just was a much larger span than the freestyle windows like this, where racing just goes on and on. Although now we have dirt jumping and vert and all that. There it still happens, but
Yeah.
it's a whole different beast, like you said. Let's talk about this really quick. I got